Bishops with the draw win. Etienne Bouchard takes the ball. So important for them to get that. Get that ball and have possession. Now they've got to make something happen with it. They really haven't produced a whole lot of offensive possession. And there's the quick pressure from Craig Charteris.
Not only have they not really produced a whole lot of offensive possession, they haven't had the ball in the offensive zone. This is, I think, only the third possession they've actually had with the ball in the Western defensive zone.
They've got so much talent. Number 23, Ryan Dewar. Number 15, James Malloy. Number 8, Mason Austin, of course, the big three. But, you know, you've got the rest of the group out there. The likes of Simon Winquist with the huge goals last night, including the big one to finish things off. And Joel Wright on the far side. They've got guys who know what they're doing out there on the field, but they just are not having the opportunities. Now they're just getting everyone a touch, getting everyone a feel for the ball, I think. And Cam Bateman is setting up on top of the crease in the mid-slot area. And now Malloy has slipped in behind him, in kind of an I formation. A little rotation around while they move across up the top. Wright gets a pick from Bateman. Maybe the best pick I've seen this week. And then Charteris just runs over a defender.
Wow.
Or one of the offensive players. But Ryan Dewar will take the goal as Joel Wright is moving delicately across the field.
Dewar just picked a little hole right in between the goalie and that post there. There wasn't much room to fit that through.
Yeah, I mean, that is some fine shooting by Ryan Dewar. We talked about how successful he's been for this team. 26 goals this season coming into the Baggataway Cup weekend. And that's a big one to get some momentum back. I mean, it's still an uphill climb against this Western club for Bishops, trailing 5-2, but it's important the way they took that. Very smart that they weren't trying to do too much. I mean, you can't hit a 4-run homer in lacrosse.
Exactly,
There's no way to shorten the process of coming back. You got to work for each goal at a time.
Some good patience and some poise down there in the offensive zone, and they bided their time and picked the proper shot that they could get off.
Yeah, I mean, there's 58 minutes to play, just under 58 minutes to play in this game. They've got lots of time. Great ride by Tom Masterson. But the Gators do eventually get the ball up the field. Lee Kanakin staying out there, number 10, taking the ball now for an offensive shift.
We didn't see much from Kanakin last night on the field.
No, hardly saw him at all. He's getting involved here. Nice hustle by Bateman after dropping the ball. There's a shot by Austin off the crossbar. It's going to go out the side and right over by the tackling dummies. The tackling sled. You might know this. You look at the tackling sled over there. There's a 77 on all the dummies. What's that for?
To be honest, I should probably know the answer to this, but I couldn't tell you.
That's why I was asking you. Mason Austin with the ball. We'll just move on and maybe you can find out.
I don't know much about the football program here at Bishop, so.
Nobody knows. Bishop's battling for the ball. Western trying to get an offensive possession. Tapped ahead, all alone on top of the net. Somehow, Tom Masterson was just left completely unguarded. A big scramble for the ball, and Masterson was just hanging out down by the top of the crease, and it was tapped ahead. Not sure if it just kind of popped out. We'll take a peek as we can see the play coming here. And oh, that is a nice play over there.
Bigley's definitely going to be frustrated with his defenders there. That's the third time they've left him alone against the guy coming down with the ball, and he can't do that every time. Can't.
And that was Patrick McCrory in that battle. For anyone who hasn't been with us for the previous games, we're streaming the game live for you, obviously, and then there's about a 28-second delay. Big hit there. 28-second delay between the live action and when it comes to you. So we've got the feed on in front of us as well. So we actually get a bit of a replay. We can't share it with you, but we can tell you Patrick McCrory just tapping that ball out of that crowd up to Tom Masterson, the long pole. Not Ryan McCrory, 15. Patrick McCrory, number 21, the honorable mention All-Canadian defender. And what a play to just see where the man was and recognize that.
Are they brothers?
Bishop setting up. We're seeing Keegan Crowley out there. These are all white uniforms. Crowley has the white tights as well. as does Michael Byrne. Makes for a lot of white. Actually, when you look around, Austin Haber going with the long white leggings as well. I think Keegan Crowley just stands out because he's easily the tallest guy out there for them.
Mm-hmm.
He's up at the top of the formation. Tanakin just backing away. Kanakin. Bishops moves the ball all the way around, and they're going to reverse direction. Malloy. Pick and roll, but it's dropped. Mark Hall loses it, but Bishops gets it back. Great work there. There's a shot, but right into the stick of Manraj Najjar.
Something we're seeing from Bishops today that we didn't see last night. They look almost a little nervous today. They're not. Their passes aren't crisp, and they almost look like they're scrambling a little bit.
Yeah. Timeout taken by Western. Jeremy Levy wants to talk to his troops. He'll gather them around. Craig Charteris did a pretty nice job getting up in the offensive zone there. So 6-2, Western with a solid lead here, and Sawyer Brock, we're watching this from up above, and it's easy to see from up here what's going on, some of the things that are happening. But when you're down on the field, if you're Bishops and you're having that trouble completing the passes, and you're having the trouble just seeming to be able to kind of calm your nerves, what do you do here if you're their head coach Robin Gelkin to calm them down?
He's definitely got to tell them to kind of just almost put themselves back into the mindset of last night, where they came out strong, they came out really sound, and like making stick-to-stick passes, like really showing that they were here to play. And they just got to remember that this is a big game, and they're playing a very good team, and so they just need to keep it calm and under control, because as soon as they start letting the nerves and things get the best of them, then they won't be able to perform to their best of their ability.
And the reality is the Western Mustangs finished first in the West, were the class of the Western Division for a reason. They did beat the Guelph Griffins.
Exactly.
The Bishops beat by 4 and 5 goals in their two games during the regular season. So it's not like Western has no role in the troubles Bishop is having. This is a very good lacrosse team, and a consistently good lacrosse team. The Western University Mustangs, formerly the University of Western Ontario, now just Western University. They've retained the purple and the Mustang, though.
Oh, they switched the actual name of the university?
They did.
Wasn't aware.
Yeah. These things, interesting little tidbits of knowledge.
I'm from London. I wasn't even aware of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of tragic.
Yeah, apparently.
Western taking their time. They're just going to go up top, set things up. Ryan Miles. Start your speed dodge. Turn back. Nicholas Brands is going to force him, and then the shot picked off by Bigley. Makes the outlet pass. Haddon's going to throw it back to him. Has to take it off one hop. Bigley can be such a difference maker, but it's tough for a goalie to insert himself into a game when the opportunities aren't really there. I mean, we saw some incredible plays from Bigley last night. The one near the end, the pickoff where he just zipped out with 2 or 3 quick steps and stole a pass. Just outstanding play, and he's going to make this pass out, a much easier one off to the side. There's some pressure. Western about to get it back, and they sandwich the Bishops player. Great effort by Mason Austin to come up with that ball, but then it's turned back over. Wow, that's a series of turnovers in a hurry. Bishops winds up with the ball and starts to push towards the net. Bateman's going to slow it down a bit, just throw it back up to Joel Wright. Malloy takes it on the near side. Over to Austin. Dewar takes it in behind the net. Still 6-2 for Western. Winquist scored, you'd have to think, the biggest goal of his career last night. The late game winner, weaving his way through the defenders.
Yeah, he just went on a tear. Started at about the 40-yard line here on Coulter Field and just took it all the way. Went through 3 defenders, I think.
Austin rolling, hits the cutter. Oh, nice save.
Really nice save by Najjar.
That was an open look, and Bateman just couldn't finish it. Here comes Dewar, though. He will finish. And that's just a solo speed dodge to cut out from behind the net. The little jump shot, we talked about it last night, how it can change the shooting angle and make it difficult for the goalie, but that's just a great individual play by Dewar.
Gators are happy with that goal, but they're still down by 3.
Interesting watching, Dewar actually kind of leapt up to establish body control almost because he was coming out. He almost wanted to get off the ground so he could get his hips rotated and get in a position to shoot at the net as he was coming out with so much speed and had to change his body angle.
Yeah, he turned in the air and shot at the same time, so he almost got the extra velocity on the shot.
Of the hip rotation. Yeah. Just a great athletic play by Ryan Dewar. Switching hands as he came out. Dewar, natural righty, going to the left hand. Ball up top. Mark Hall moves it around. They're going to go back to Dewar behind the net. Charteris will go to get him. Taryn Cook takes the pass back. Cook still has it. Gets it over to Dewar. Bateman watched closely by Peter Hunt. So much talent on this Western team, and Bishop's also a talented club, but just the depth of the Mustangs is what's made so much difference for them all year, and you can see Bishop's trying to deal with that because everyone out there defensively for the Mustangs are such a strong defensive team. Yeah. Everyone out there maintaining good positioning, very athletic. You can see they'll extend their defense out to not let things develop for the opponents.
They're not afraid to chase the Gators like all the way to the to the sidelines and kind of put the hard pressure on them.
And yet seldom do you see them caught out of position, and there that defensive pressure pays off in a missed pass. That's why you go out and pressure if you can. If you wonder why they are doing it, that's exactly why, because they've got the athletes that they're able to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, but then the missed pass, Bishops has numbers. Malloy coming down is going to pass it off.
Oh, nice.
What a quick release by Bateman. Great job to stay out of the crease.
And the flag on the play after the goal.
Yeah, as Malloy is flattened after he makes the pass. And the sun begins to shine on Coulter Field as Bishops gets yet another goal. And it's that turnover at midfield that made the difference, and Malloy was absolutely ready to take advantage. And the key for Bateman is to just stay out of the crease as he's catching the pass and turning to and being aware of where he is on the field.
Really nice idea for Malloy to make that pass down low instead of shooting it himself, because the goalie probably thought he was going for the shot, and it kind of caught him off guard with that quick pass.
And Malloy had a decent shooting opportunity, but certainly Bateman was in a better position, and the defender came to Malloy. So you make that pass. You make the pass or take the shot, depending on what the defender does. The defender comes out. Malloy makes the right decision down to Bateman, and it's 6-4. Bishop's creeping back into this one. And they get the ball back with the man advantage. After the illegal body check call, Craig Charteris flattening Malloy after he made the pass. Malloy has it again. Back up top to Austin. Austin gets it back and fires and scores. Great ball movement. Cam Bateman this time Last goal, he was on the receiving end of the pass and buried it. This time he sets up Austin, and it's 6-5. And Bishops, we talked about how they couldn't let Western get too far ahead, had to get momentum back.
Exactly.
Can't do it much better than this.
Well, that was some excellent team play by the Gators down low there. They really moved the ball around well, and since they were up that man, they made the Western defenders work, and they just couldn't quite get on Mason Austin before he got that shot off.
Timeout taken. I was just drinking your water. Sorry about that. I grabbed the wrong bottle. Or is that mine?
It's not mine.
Oh, it's probably mine. I don't know. It's a water. There's so many of us up here, and it's so exciting. I just grab the water.
So many bodies, so much going on.
Such a great game. And I'll tell you, there's a spring in the step of the Bishops cheerleaders down below. The crowd is getting back into it. The bells are ringing. You know, it's the home crowd advantage can make such a difference for a team. You talked about it before the game, how much they can help these Gators.
It really can, especially with the crowd. Even Bishops is a smaller school, but with the crowd that they have here, they come in, they're electric. They've got all the noise-making machines. They really hype up their crowd.
I know we've been talking about the cheerleaders some, but it's neat to have them here at the game, and it's kind of cool. It's a bit of a chillier day. Mm-hmm. We've got the one girl wearing kind of the Michelin Man ribbed jacket. Yeah. We've got the one girl with the massive scarf all wrapped around her throat. It's the jackets. It's pretty neat seeing them out here prepared for the elements and dancing their hearts out to help. Cheering their hearts out to help get this crowd into it. They don't need a whole lot of help. The crowd's here, and they're into it.
The crowd's got a lot of spirit here on Coulter Field.
Loving it. I mentioned I'm Stephen Sam with Sawyer Brock, and this is my first chance to get up here to Bishops and check this out. Great facility and a brilliantly run tournament. I mean, the fact that you can have the power outage and everything that went with that in terms of rescheduling and organizing. And Drew Pollock and his staff here at Bishops have done a brilliant job of making this tournament run. Not without a hitch, because nature stepped in the way of that with the tree falling on the power lines. But, boy, they have adapted to whatever has been thrown at them, and that's a sign of good preparation and good readiness to deal with whatever comes. So kudos to everybody here at Bishops who's putting on a great show for us. And they're being rewarded with some fantastic lacrosse at this tournament.
Yeah, it's already with the 3 games, or 2.5 now that we've seen. It's been excellent lacrosse.
Sam Neeb lost the ball momentarily, got it back. He's been hounded. Now it's the Bishops defense's turn to put on some pressure. Cut to the net by Cody Ward. He's already got 3 goals. He's not going to have a lane to go for another one here. Nice work.
Ward's fast.
He is.
Quick movement on his feet.
The Bishops D getting out after him, forcing him out wide. Nice effort by Andrew McNeil on that one. And McNeil now is just overwatching Ward in the corner. Western gets everybody they want out there, and Ward will start things up again. Moving much more slowly. Now he's going to start to get his feet moving. McNeil on him, pass across. Comes to the near side to Jones Smith. Masterson behind the net. Trades places with Ryan Miles. Ryan McCrory with the ball. There's a pass out front. Masterson wants to let one go. Excellent recovery there. Western taking their time. Jones Smith setting things up. Nick Martineau with some nice defense out there. Just had to check him. He's not actually on the website roster for Bishops, number 9. But he is number 9 down in the crease now. Just wanted to give him some props for a nice defensive shift. Sam Neeb with the ball will give it up to Cody Ward. There's a cut and a shot and a goal. Cody Ward is on fire today.
That was a beautiful spin move right there by Ward. Got around the defender so well.
Great feet, great balance, great shot to end it off. It's the best way to neutralize the momentum of Bishops. Have that long offensive possession, work it around, and then when you have an opportunity, bury it. Lining up for the face-off again. H.M. Bouchard for Bishops. Michael Byrne for Western. And Byrne will be granted possession.
It's the second time Bouchard's come in early and gave away the possession.
Such a fine line.
Yeah, it is.
You're on the face-off. You're trying to anticipate, and if you jump a little early, you just hand them the ball, and Western now has it. Up 2 goals, 7-5. 3:51 here to play in the first half. Western clinging to a 2-goal lead, but trying to extend it. Masterson had to make a pretty nifty little play there to keep the pass from going out of bounds, and then he makes the long pass up top to Patrick Gamble. Gamble going for a bit of a ramble. Spun backside by Andrew McNeil, who's really stepping his play up today. Miles with the pass into the slot. There was one white jersey with about 4 purple ones around him. I'm not sure that was the best decision. And Bagley will throw the ball into his mesh and then just shove Ryan McCrory into it right on top of the ball.
I don't think that was his original intention. McCrory kind of got in his way, but Bigley definitely extended the arms and made the push.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, McCrory can't go and get that ball once. There's a nice play by Bigley to throw it into the back of the mesh with the heavy ride on the two-man forecheck pressure, but
bit
of an
Bigley's
error.
Got to remember that the ball is safe there, so he shouldn't doesn't need to put his hands on the player.
Sometimes, you're a goalie and a guy's getting around your crease, you just don't like it.
Yeah.
They get the ball back anyway, so no harm done. Little sidearm sling there up to Joel Wright. Bradley Hatton with a nice pass. Here comes Bishops putting some pressure on. Pass across. Oh, what a pickoff. Great play by Najjar to pick that pass off. Or there's a Gator on the far side who was wide open. Illegal body check called, so Bishops will go on the man up with a chance to get back within 1. Dewar gets it back. Bateman looking for Malloy, gets it, rips. Cannon from the outside. Cam Bateman's having himself a game, setting up Malloy for his second goal as well. And this Bishops offense is really clicking on all cylinders here in the second quarter as we're moving into the final couple of minutes of the half. Malloy from Bateman. And just like that, the Bishops faithful is fired up again.
Exactly, yeah. Bishop showing, especially their attackmen and their midi, they play so well together, and they always know where each other are on the field, and they show that well by just making some solid, quick passes, and Malloy with a really nice shot from the outside on net.
He just ripped that one with how hard he fired, and the man-up goal for Bishops.
That's why he's leading scorer in the East Division.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he can shoot. How about Cam Bateman playing his game? I mean, he had a solid season, obviously for this club, but just 2 goals and 6 assists in the regular season in 9 games. You're not a huge scoring cog in the offense.
He's a sound player on the offensive side, though. He's really he can move the ball around really well, and he knows his positioning on the field really well.
James Malloy. Assisted by number 45, Cam Bateman.
Bateman with a couple goals, couple assists now today. Malloy having a big day. That the whole Bishops offense really clicking. Of course, Western still holding a 1-goal lead, 7-6, 140 to play here. We'll see how Bouchard does on this face-off. See if he can avoid jumping. He does, but it's still pulled out. Byrne with another face-off win. As Western establishes possession, and Jordy Jones-Smith is just going to go for a run. He's followed closely by Nicholas Brands. Brands gets a stick up into the chin of Jones-Smith and gets it again. A little lucky perhaps not to get called for something there, but he does get the strip, but it bounces straight over to Cody Ward, who's having himself an afternoon. Cody Ward with 4 goals already in this game among Western's 7. He has been outstanding. A couple for Ryan McCrory and 1 for Tom Masterson. Jordy Jones-Smith with a pair of assists for Western. Bateman and Dewar with 2 goals each. Malloy also with 2. And Austin with 1 for their total. No, they've just got 6. So Austin and Malloy with 1 each. I thought Bateman had 2 assists. I could have sworn because he set up one earlier. I'll have to double check that.
Right.
We have a timeout here.
Seems
I
like
want to check the tape.
Western called that timeout there, but Mason Austin had the ball in his stick, so I don't know. Are they allowed to do that when?
No, you have to have possession, but they may have called it just before that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was a dead ball. Okay, play hadn't been blown back in.
Oh,
so
okay,
they are allowed to call timeout there. 44 seconds to go here in the first half. The score 7-6 in favor of the Western Mustangs. I'm Steven Stamp with Sawyer Brock, and it's been a great weekend of lacrosse already. We got 2.5 games to go.
It really has. Like, we've seen the Bishops team now. This is their second time playing this weekend, and they've fought really hard. The game, as we talked about, the game this morning that had to be finished from a carryover from the game last night was an excellent game of lacrosse. Just so much action, so much goal scoring in the 32 minutes I think that they played, and.
Yeah, unbelievable this morning. I mean, it was exciting. You pointed out 32 minutes this morning. They scored as many as the 48 minutes last night, 9 goals in each. And then they go to the overtime. Just fantastic lacrosse. And, of course, a tree falling on a power line knocked out power to all of Lennoxville last night. Couldn't be restored in time to play the game last night, so they had to come back out this morning. And as a result, there's been a bit of reshuffling. So you're watching this game now if you haven't heard yet. The second semifinal today will start at 5 o'clock, not the original scheduled 4 o'clock, just to give Brock a little time to recover, a little extra time. Couldn't be pushed any later because of other commitments on the field here, and that makes it tough. We're into the final 40 seconds. Bishops with the ball after Western took that timeout on the dead ball before play got blown in. Winquist being watched by Crowley. Winquist gets it back. He looked like he was thinking shot. Dewar's going to fire one wide. He had a little space over there, but that was heading wide the whole way. Bateman's going to start with the ball behind. There's a shot by Austin. Scores.
Wow.
And
Even with the
Keegan
man
Crowley
on him.
had his stick on Austin's stick, and that caused it to be a bit of a change-up, and I think that fooled Najjar because he was expecting more power from Austin, and you could see Keegan Crowley kind of looked up like, I can't believe I did that. But, it's a stick-on-stick check. That's a good check.
It was an excellent check. If he had almost had a little more force on it, he could have got the stick right out of Austin's hands. But
what a huge momentum goal to tie it 7-7 as we go to the half, scoring with just seconds left to play in the half. That will make it 7-0. We're going to take a break for about 10 minutes here. We'll be back with one of the most exciting Baggataway Cups, I think, in the history of this Canadian University Field Lacrosse Association. And I'm Steven Stamp with Sawyer Brock. Make sure you come back in 10 minutes to join us for more of the Baggataway Cup 2015 from Bishops University.